Zach Wilson was accurate, decisive, and consistent in the New York Jets' win over the Miami Dolphins on Sunday. While the sophomore quarterback didn't have his flashiest performance, let's break down the All-22 and I'll show you why I saw great leaps and bounds from Zach Wilson in two key areas. Let's go. What's going on, everybody? It's Luke here from PLAJ Jet, and today we're going to break down the Zach Wilson film against the Dolphins. I mentioned it in the intro. It was the decision making, it was the quickness, it was understanding where to go with the football. While all the attention was on Breece Hall and Elijah Vera Tucker on the offensive side of the ball, and understandably so, Zach Wilson was really good, to the point where it was actually his highest graded game by PFF in his career. So let's take a look at some of the film, and I'm going to explain kind of three key areas that I liked, two which were improved and one which we knew has been there all along. We're going to start talking about his throwing on out routes to the sideline and on some of these sail route concepts, because in college it was the strength of his game. But in the NFL, he's actually struggled with his accuracy throwing outside the numbers, particularly throwing to his right-hand side. We saw some great examples of just that. We're going to start here with a throw in the first quarter to Corey Davis. Zach Wilson out of shotgun, back aligned to the left-hand side. You're going to see him throw this to the right-hand side of the Jets formation towards the top of your screen. As I let this roll, you're going to see the Dolphins bail into what I'd call a cover 6 look. It's zone. You're going to stick that ball in there. He hits Corey Davis straight between his numbers, and it's a first down, and we're rolling for the Jets. There's something you may not have noticed about this play, though, and I love it. Have a look at the zone defender on the left-hand side near the number 40. I'm going to circle him right here. You're going to see him bite because of Zach Wilson's eyes. So right now, he's in what I would call a curl flat zone. He's reading from inside to outside the eyes of the quarterback. You're going to see he just slowly turns his shoulders inside. Zach Wilson holds him, and then that frees up Corey Davis, and he's wide open in the flats for that out route. You're going to see it better from the back angle. Zach does an awesome job holding him with his eyes. He did this to Minka all of last week. Off the snap, eyes are down the seam the entire way, down the seam out of the hitch, and then you can see him snap his head. Eyes down the middle, snap his head to the right, and then he lets go of this ball. Great accuracy and placement, but he creates the window because of his eye manipulation. One more time, Zach Wilson really clean in and out of his drop, one hitch, move that defender, fire that ball on a line drive, Corey Davis with a big first down. More of the same here from Zach Wilson, and this one was actually a huge momentum builder for the Jets. Early stages of the fourth quarter, the Dolphins have just missed a field goal, a chance to take the lead. And the first play off of that, Mike LaFleur dials up this deep play action shot. Zach Wilson from under center, he's going to hit Corey Davis on the deep out as we let this thing roll. Right hand side of the Jets formation. An absolute strike. Guys, I understand this is a pretty big window, but what impressed me here is the arm strength of Zach Wilson. Freeze it right here. When Zach Wilson's about to let go of the ball, he's on the left side hash. He throws this ball to the opposite sideline on an absolute line 30 plus yards down the field. That's not including the fact that he's throwing to the sideline. That's just talking yards downfield. But I like how efficient he is with his footwork, extremely clean, steps up in the pocket, one hitch, deliver the football, nice mechanics, and I say it again, hit Corey Davis straight between the 8 and the 4 on his chest. Zach Wilson off of play action, throwing outside the numbers. This is what we saw him do well at BYU, and we started to see it again against the Miami Dolphins. I love the throw, I love the arm strength, a bit of anticipation throwing as Corey Davis is just coming out of his break. An awesome job from Zach Wilson. But occasionally he's still going to miss these throws. Here's an example from earlier in the game, throwing right on a deep out to Elijah Moore. We'll let this thing roll, play action, gets rid of the football. Footwork and mechanics are pretty nice, but he short arms it and Elijah can't scoop the ball up off the turf. I think he misses this because he doesn't quite get his body weight through the throw. He looks a little bit worried about the pressure coming from the right of his offensive line. Doesn't quite get through the throw. He still steps into the bucket, fairly nice mechanically, but just short arms it a little bit, doesn't carry out to Elijah, and he misses the throw. It's going to happen occasionally. This was one of the only mistakes that I saw Zach make in the entirety of the game. The consistency isn't quite there, but he was pretty good throwing outside the numbers and throwing to the right-hand side of the Jets formation. The second area of Zach Wilson's game that really impressed me on Sunday against the Dolphins was his understanding of where to go with the football against pressure, against man coverage, and especially on big third downs. The first play here is an excellent illustration of just that. He's out of shotgun, you've got man coverage, the Dolphins off the snap end up bringing a 5-man pressure. He knows exactly where to go with the football. He hits the whip route to Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson makes people miss after the catch, and we get ourselves a first down and we keep the sticks moving. But it's the great identification that he knows we love whip routes and we love out routes against man coverage. You can see straight away off the snap, eyes go to the right matchup, Garrett Wilson wins at the top of the route. Great accuracy, great timing, and we give our guy a chance to make a play after the catch. It's just very, very simple football, but it's extremely effective, and it comes with pre-snap recognition. Get the ball out of your hands, onto the whip route, and let Garrett Wilson go and do what he does so well after the catch. Great job from Zach Wilson. This is a big third down. They're struggling to come off their own line. You need to get some territory. You need to give yourself a chance to win the field position battle. I love the play call here from Mike LaFleur. I want you to focus on the bunch on the left-hand side of your screen. Zach Wilson out of shotgun, hits Elijah Moore on this little out route, the little speed out, gets plenty of yards after the catch again. But it's the concept I love here from Mike LaFleur. Out of the bunch, you're going to have a little quick in from the inside. He's going to sit down because it's cover one. You don't run into the hole defender. But the two key guys are Elijah Moore and Corey Davis. The best thing about this is the switch release. They fake the switch release. Corey Davis works vertically to the outside shoulder of his defender. Elijah Moore pokes his head from the back of the bunch to the inside. What does that do? It drags his corner, just near the number 20, to the inside. Now, when Corey Davis comes through the chest and Elijah Moore runs this speed out, look where the corner is. He has to wade all the way through the traffic that Corey Davis has created this pick rub with his defender. Elijah Moore's wide open. Zach Wilson knows where to go with the football. This sounds simple, I get it, but Russell Wilson had this opportunity to win the game for the Broncos the other night, and he couldn't do it. Understanding where to go with the football pre-snap and where to go against certain coverages is key, and Zach Wilson showed that he keeps on developing in that exact area. And the last example, I showed this one in the Breece Hall video yesterday, just throw the ball, quick flat to Breece Hall, understanding that he's got outside leverage, so he's on the outside of his man coverage linebacker. You can see him all the way inside on the hash. Pre-snap, recognize the pressure, get the ball out, and let Breece Hall do it after the catch. Is this location perfect from Zach Wilson? No, it's not. This is still something he struggled with, throwing some of these flat routes and the little screens. He throws this to the inside shoulder. Breece Hall makes a terrific adjustment at the catch point and a really nice catch, but Zach still gives his guy a chance, but he understands where to go pre-snap, and that's what I want to show you. This is third down, against pressure, against man coverage, and it's great identification of the defense and what he needs to be doing. You've got a guy who's great out of the backfield, who has outside leverage. Give him the ball and let him make a play for you. Zach Wilson versus man coverage was fantastic. And the last part of Zach Wilson's game that really shone to me, and there were flashes and glimpses of, was the creativity off script. The touchdown run was a great example of it because they only bring 3 men. They've dropped 8 into coverage. Zach Wilson goes through his reads and his progressions. No one's there. Break the pocket and go and make a play just like he did in college at BYU. He dives for the end zone and he gets there. It's a huge touchdown for the Jets. But you can see it well here from the back angle. His eyes are busy. He goes through his reads and progression. He doesn't bail early, but when it's time to go and it's time to make that decision, get out of the pocket and make a play because you are a plus athlete. He dives, gets that football across the end zone, touchdown Jets, and it's a huge play. But I just love Zach Wilson having the internal clock, and if it's off script, and if it's not there, you can go and make it happen because you are that guy. And Zach Wilson showed glimpses of that again. I love to see him run. I think he has 5 rushing touchdowns since the midway point of last year when he came back from injury. Zach Wilson doing it outside of structure. And this one's an incompletion. We're going to finish on this play, but you can just see the backyard football ability of Zach Wilson. Goes for the play action toss, something we saw from LaFleur a lot last year. Zach Wilson in trouble, but look at the way he just creates space, directs traffic. It's a little bit of a hybrid from the Tennessee play, and Conklin can't quite come up with the football. But Zach Wilson goes from, I should be getting sacked here and having to throw this football away. Look at this little move he puts on him. Bang. Turns him inside out, slows him. Look at him, he almost falls over, does the outside linebacker. Zach Wilson gives himself space, sets his feet, and delivers a 57-yard strike down the field. Look at the location. He gives Tyler Conklin an awesome opportunity to make this catch. It ends up bouncing off the defender's helmet. Look, I get it's an incompletion. But what I love about this is when most NFL quarterbacks would have to throw this away or would take a sack, Zach Wilson gives himself an opportunity to make a huge 50-yard play. And that's what separates him from most guys playing under center in the NFL. So that's what the film said about Zach Wilson. He was really consistent all game long. It was an underrated performance, but the improvements were definitely there and they are tangible. Throwing the ball right and outside the numbers, against man coverage, against pressure, pre-snap IQ. Zach's taking strides forward and you love to see it as a Jets fan.